Hi guys, it's Megan here from Last Word. Hopefully you've been enjoying the recent video series from Fraser and James. Today it's my turn and I thought I might touch on some tips for communicating in a crisis. So what is crisis communications? Essentially it's your response when the shit hits the fan for your business or organisation. For most of us, we won't see the likes of an All Blacks toilet tryst sex scandal, but there are risks for every business, yours included. So what do you need to do? The first step really should be having a crisis communications plan, knowing what you need before you need it. So it's a good idea to sit down and consider the most likely risks for your business. It might be health and safety, perhaps a product that you sell is found to be unsafe, or you have a staff member who's injured on the job. Cybersecurity is another one. If your systems are hacked and the private details of your clients or customers are compromised, that's a risk. Or perhaps it's as simple as a badly behaved staff member, somebody who does something inappropriate and really upsets a customer or customers. Once you have these, you can consider your response. As part of this, you'll need to look at the most appropriate spokesperson, so that's the public face of your business or organisation, and also consider the stakeholders that you'll need to keep informed. So that might be your clients and customers, suppliers, authorities like WorkSafe or the police, and of course your staff. You'll also need to pull together relevant policies and processes, whether these are internal or external. If the likes of WorkSafe or New Zealand Police are involved, and they might require things to be done a certain way for particular situations. And then lastly, it's a good idea to pull together some key messages which you can use to draft holding statements. These are short messages that you can get out quickly while you still have limited information, but it lets people know that you're aware of and responding to the situation and what your next steps are. To keep everything simple, the rest of my advice falls under the 3 R's of crisis communications. So those are respond, regret and resolution. So kicking off with respond, the most important thing to realise is that communication is a two-way street, whether you'd like it that way or not. It's really key to listen. In times of crisis, social media, and particularly Twitter, is probably the primary information sharing source. So it's a good idea to get on there and see what people are saying, and once you know your position, to start responding. If you don't respond to people's questions, if you don't answer questions, then chances are somebody else is going to, and you might not like what they had to say. You definitely won't have control over what they're saying. That said, it's perfectly fine not to know the answers. So if you're asked something, you can say something like, we're still working to understand the situation, however we're taking it very seriously and we'll let you know when we know more. That lets people know that you're listening, that you've heard them, and that you're committed to finding out the answer for them, essentially. The second part of this is the regret side of things, which is, I think it's appropriate to express regret. Don't get expressing regret mistaken for accepting responsibility. They're different things. Just because you're sorry that something happened doesn't mean that you hold any blame in the situation. So that's really key. That said, if you are at fault, own it, apologise, let people know it's not good enough, that it mustn't happen again, that it won't happen again. This is where your spokesperson, your choice of spokesperson, is really critical. So it needs to be somebody who's high up enough in your organisation to show that you're taking the situation seriously. But that said, not every board chair, chief executive or senior manager is up to the task. You need somebody who can convey sincerity that people are going to find authentic and believe. You need somebody who can stay calm under pressure and who won't resort to becoming defensive when questions get tough, and somebody who knows what they're talking about. If the person can't do all of these things, then they're not the right person to be representing your organisation in a crisis. Finally, the final step is resolution. So follow up. Don't expect a situation to disappear. Let people know, well, when you know what happened, let people know. Let them know what you're doing to make it better or what you've learned from it, to make sure that it won't happen again in the future. Don't let it happen again in the future. People aren't as forgiving the second time round. Yeah, that's essentially a really quick rundown of crisis communications and some of the things you should consider. If you wanted to talk about this some more, or if you are interested in developing a crisis communications plan, please get in touch with me or anyone from the team at Last Word. You can find our contact details, as well as details of the other services we provide, some of the other businesses we've helped, and some useful tips and advice on our website, www.lastwordwriting.co.nz. Thanks heaps for your time, and I'll catch you next time.